Hi guys, just a really quick video. I wanted to do this half as a video to give you how to reach your goals online. So I'll speak about that in just a second, a quick video. And the other reason, if I'm honest, why I'm doing this is to test the connection. So let me know if this juts out, or I suppose I can watch it back. But I hope you enjoy it. I hope it doesn't cut out. I've been having some problems with this app, so I want it to work. This is the live app, obviously streaming live. And I thought it'd be a good opportunity to tell you how to get your goals, how to reach your goals online. So talking specifically, if you work online, this is what will help, and I'll go straight into it. Knowing what you've got to do each day. And I know that sounds really obvious, but like all the good stuff, it is the most obvious stuff. When I got started online, and you've probably been in this same spot, I won't make the video long, but you end up trying to learn things and implement them. And the learning is sort of jumping around from place to place, because as you start to learn something, it leads on to something else. For instance, if you're setting a site up, you start learning about how to write content, and then you start learning about SEO, and then you start learning about black hat and white hat and different site setups and different themes. And you can see what I mean. You go down a rabbit hole of stuff, and then you never get out of there. That's what happens most of the time. But here's the thing that will help you, and just a quick sort of thing you can do, that if you practice it, it sounds really simple, but if you actually do this, you'll move forward faster, you're far more likely to get to your goals, and you'll be more motivated. And it's this: instead of jumping around from thing to thing, just focus on what you need to do to get to the next step. So imagine it like a computer game, imagine it like levels, if you will. Well, level 1, if you will, you know, whatever way you want to do it, would be setting up WordPress in this case. And that's all you have to do. You don't have to worry about SEO. You don't have to worry about picking products. You don't have to worry about anything. If it was a sales page, the number one thing is a good headline. Okay, so you don't need to be a master copywriter. All you need to know is how to write a good headline. And then if you do it like that, chunk it down into manageable steps. You can go as sort of chunk down as much as you want. So if it wasn't WordPress, if it was just finding a good domain name. But the point is this: whatever you decide to do, however you chunk it down, make sure that you complete that step each day. So if it's learning how to buy a domain name, take the action and buy a domain name, even if you get it wrong, because that will push you further. And then when you get to actually working on your sites, actually building them, you will find it far, far easier with these goals in mind. So the first thing that you want to do is get some clarity on what you're trying to do. How many, if you're doing Amazon sites, for instance, how many sites are you going to build? What are your goals? What are your money goals? What do you need to know? Get that all really, really clear, and spend some real time on it to actually write that down, and how much time you've got to work on this. And when you're working, make sure you're working and not... That's the other thing online. When you're working for someone else, you can't sort of get up and walk around the office and do... Well, you can, people do that. But when you're working for yourself, the only person that will damage is yourself. So you have to make your time very, very effective. And if you do that, if you know what you're doing and you know what you have to do to get to the next step, that will really, really help you. And then the next thing is not just the knowing, but take a step each day, or each sort of action step you've got. Make sure that you complete an action that pushes you further. If it's buy a domain name, then you're far more likely to build the site and put WordPress on it. Then you're far more likely to learn about WordPress. Then you're far more likely to write content. Instead of looking at it going, I'm going to write 10 pages of content, look at, I'm going to write 1 page of content and do it for 10 days, or do two pages for 5 days, or whatever it is. You work it out, but you keep the consistency going, and that will really, really help you. So I hope that made sense. I hope it helps you. Let me know how this video sort of comes out, and I will speak to you in the next one with more success tips, stuff that I use. Really, really good one. I got this isn't mine. I got this idea from Jim Rohn, and something that you can use with what I've just said. Notepad and pen. Plan your day the day before. Okay. Jim actually says, if you plan your day on the day, it's normally too late. You want to plan your day the day before, just before you go to bed, just before you finish work. Write down the tasks that you've got to do today, or you know what I mean. Have them and actually do them, actually go through. Write down an end result you want at that day. At the end of the day, I will have this, this, this done. Start off with 1 or 2 things and then go up to whatever you're comfortable with. I normally have 3 to 5 things that I do. And then another thing I got from Zig Ziglar is, was it Zig Ziglar or Brian Tracy? I think it might have been both of them that said this, but it was, if you had to go out of town today, but you had to go in the evening, what's the one thing from your list that you could not leave, that's the most important, that had to be done before you leave town? And then you know, and you circle it. So even if you have a bad day and you get one thing done, you know that that one thing is the most important. So I hope that helps you. Let me know what you think, and I will speak to you soon. Cheers, guys.